Hi, this training video offers an introduction to the Literably teacher dashboard and assigning assessments. At this point in the training series, you should be able to log into your teacher account in Literably using the method that your district or school has chosen. Once you've logged into your teacher account, you will see your Literably teacher dashboard. Let's start by getting you oriented to this dashboard. At the top here, you will see the different types of assessments that Literably offers. Literably will take you to the Fluency tab by default, but depending on your district or school's Literably subscription, you may also be using phonological awareness, phonics, RAN, spelling, vocabulary, or comprehension. Under the name column, you will find your roster of students. We would recommend checking that this list is correct before starting to use Literably. If your district or school uses Clever or ClassLink, rostering updates will sync over to Literably from your SIS after 24 to 48 hours. If you use a different rostering method, you may need to reach out to the Literably contact at your site to make rostering changes. In this middle section, you will see your students' most recent assessments. If you're just getting started with Literably, this will be largely blank. On the right-hand side, you will see the assessments that your students are assigned to take the next time they log into Literably. And later in this video, we'll go over how to assign assessments of each type to students. The other thing that may come in handy on your teacher dashboard is this help button in the lower left corner. Here you can search for Help Center articles by keyword. If you can't find the information you're looking for, you can click on Contact Us and send a message to the support center. We'll take a look and get back to you as soon as possible. And finally, the Reports option at the top allows you to download data exports containing your students' assessment results. Now that you've been oriented to the teacher dashboard, let's take a look at how to assign assessments to students. We'll first take a look at assigning oral reading fluency assessments, followed by the other types of assessments in Literably. To assign fluency assessments to students, make sure you have clicked on the Fluency tab at the top of the dashboard. This is the default tab you'll land on when you log in. The next assessment column on the right side of the dashboard will show you the name of the text and the grade level of the text your students have been assigned as their next assessment. If your students are new to Literably, they will be assigned a text at the beginning of their grade level as a default. So if you have third graders, for example, they will be assigned to read a beginning of third grade text when they are rostered in Literably. You have the ability to adjust these initial levels, and sometimes districts or schools will ask us to set the levels of students' initial assessments based on reading data they have on file. If you know that some students may need to start at a higher or lower level for their first assessment, you can click on this pencil icon to open the assignment sidebar. Within the assignment sidebar, you can access Literably's level text library or our decodable text library. Under the level texts, if you click on reading level, you can see a list of all the levels the texts are sorted into. Under the reading dropdown, you can see a list of titles and the genre of the text. For each level in Literably, there are between 10 to 12 texts, both fiction and nonfiction. So students should not need to assess on the same text more than once in Literably. Once you have selected the text you'd like to assign, you can preview or print that text with the See Preview button. And then make sure to click Save to save the assessment. If your students are not yet ready to engage with the leveled texts at the lower levels in Literably, or if you're working on a specific phonics scope and sequence with your students, you can choose to have them start on a decodable text. Currently, Literably's decodable texts are aligned to the UFly scope and sequence. To assign a decodable text, click that option, and then expand the Objectives and Skills dropdown. Here you will see a list of UFly lessons that these decodable texts align to and the phonics skills covered within that text. You can select one or more objectives to see a table of texts. You can preview them. And then select the plus sign to assign the text to your student. Again, make sure you save your selection. Back on your teacher dashboard, you can see that the next assessment has been updated. And you will see your initials to indicate that you manually assigned the story to your student instead of Literably. Now, there may be times when you need to assign the same text to multiple students. To do this, you can check the boxes in front of those students' names or check all of them. And then select Assign Next Assessments up here at the top. This will open the same assignment sidebar. And the selection you make will be applied to all of the students that you chose. Once you're satisfied with the next assessments listed for your students on your dashboard, you're ready to have students log in to take their fluency assessments. Now that we've looked at how to assign fluency assessments, let's go over how to assign other types of assessments in Literably. The process for assigning assessments to students for these other types of Literably assessments, phonological awareness, phonics, RAN, spelling, vocabulary, and comprehension, is very similar. If your district or school only uses fluency, you can stop watching now and move on to the next training video, which covers the student assessment experience. To assign these assessments, first make sure that you've toggled to the correct assessment tab. Let's use phonological awareness as an example. From here, you would click on the pencil icon to assign an assessment. From the assignment sidebar, you will see pre-made and custom assessments. We'll focus on pre-made for now and talk about custom assessments at the end of this video. For phonological awareness, phonics, spelling, vocabulary, and comprehension, Literably has 3 forms for each grade level. Phonological awareness, phonics, and vocabulary have forms for grades K through 5. Spelling has forms for grades 1 through 5, and comprehension covers grades 2 through 5. For phonics, we also have letter name and letter sound screeners for students who may not be ready to decode words. The 3 pre-made forms at each grade address the same skills using different questions. We recommend using Form 1 at the start of the year, Form 2 in the middle, and Form 3 at the end to track progress. If you're using RAN with your students, you can see that there is just one pre-made form, the Literably RAN Complete Assessment. So for Frodo here, let's select the Phonological Awareness First Grade Form 1. If you click on See Preview, you can see the questions that students will be asked during the assessment. Once you've selected the appropriate form, remember to hit Save. Back on your dashboard, you can be sure that your changes have been made if you see the correct next assessment for your students in the next assessment column with your initials next to that assessment. Similar to fluency, you can bulk assign assessments to students by clicking the box in front of their names and then the Assign Next Assessments button. There may be times when you're looking to assess your students on specific skills they have been working on as a way to gauge whether they are grasping those skills. This is when custom assessments may come in handy. Let's take a look at phonics as an example. Say that you've just completed a unit on R-controlled vowels with your students. In the assignment sidebar, click on Custom Assessments. Under Skills, you can select R-controlled vowel and then at least 5 subskills you want to investigate. You can also add additional main skills. Once you hit Save, this will assign a custom phonics assessment to that student, which only contains words with R-controlled vowels. This gives you a way to get very specific data pertaining directly to the skills you're working on with your students. Custom assessments are available for phonological awareness, phonics, RAN, spelling, and comprehension assessments in Literably. Now that you know how to assign or modify students' next assessments, your students are ready to take their assessment in Literably. Go to the next training video to learn about the student assessment experience.